Welcome back to Soundcheck on 93.5 The Mix. Our next musician grew up on a farm north of Vinton. Kevin Simnacher is a solo artist who started off playing music at a very young age.
I had some classmates growing up that got to put on a little presentation for my class. They were guitar students. I think we were in about third grade or so, and ever since that happened, I was bugging my folks about, I wanted to learn guitar and wanted them to buy me a guitar, and they didn't think it was necessary. And I think I was finally 16 years old when I first got my first guitar, and shortly thereafter I formed a band and basically did some early, talent shows and things like that, and ended up doing a band in 1978. I was still in high school. We had a band called Rattler, and we ended up in 1980 going out to Colorado and Nebraska and a few other. I think we toured like about 13 different states, and we had quite a few original songs that we did in our show as well as cover tunes, and so I did that thing and been in various cover bands over the year. I was in a band called Fighter, based out of Waterloo, the late 1980s. They went on to get a record deal, and after I left the band.
What have you been doing since then?
The last couple of years, started getting this itch to start writing again. I know there's been some local guitar players that it seems like they release a new album just about every year, and I'm thinking, I'll bet I've got an album in me. So I just started putting together this album, and it's kind of been a slow process.
Hey, Kevin, how do you classify your music?
I would classify it as melodic rock, as opposed to some of this music where it's just a bunch of screaming.
Let's talk about the new CD.
Well, first song didn't make it to the Harvey Headbanger album. It's called Illegal Alien, and one of the things, we actually played the song live with Harvey Headbanger before I left, and we were playing it for about a year live, and it was getting some good, people were good audience comments and whatnot, but boy, when I first presented it to the band, they were saying, I don't know, it's not politically correct, They obviously thought that people would take it, they were like people coming up from Mexico, and my whole idea behind it was that, I'm a big fan of the Men in Black movies, where the INS comes up and they stop this bus load of Mexicans, and you're saying, they've used that juxtaposition between the illegals coming up from Mexico and the ones coming in from outer space, and I thought that would be kind of an interesting concept for a song.
Here it is, Illegal Alien. This is Kevin Simnacher on Soundcheck.
zombies wrapped in cocoons. Space. Don't wanna be politically correct. Get him out of my face. Get him out of my face. Oh yeah. Driving down my property value. They're up to no good. Illegal aliens.
Now there goes the neighborhood.
Kevin Simnacher and Illegal Alien on Soundcheck.
This is Soundcheck.
Hey, and don't forget, musicians, if you need something for your band, go to Bob's Guitars, Blackhawk Village, Cedar Falls. From guitars, amplifiers, drums, you name it, Bob's Guitars has it. Blackhawk Village, Cedar Falls.